Alright, so remember, don't look over at the camera, look over here. Alright, so Miss Hull told me that you guys have been learning about multiplying double digits. How are we feeling on that? Thumbs up or thumbs down? So we're still a little iffy on it?
No.
Okay, well I'm going to teach you some new ways to do multiplying double digits today. First we're going to watch a little video. We got to watch a little advertisement first. Can you dull the lights a little bit? Alright, so listen carefully. Alright, so I'm going to read this. Can everyone read it up the top captions, or do you want me to read it to you? Okay.
Yeah.
JoJo is thinking. So JoJo's our little monkey that's going to teach us how to... JoJo, what are you thinking? You know I'm going to be the richest in the jungle. When? How? I heard a merchant say that one mango can be sold for 5 coins. I have 12 mangoes in my orchard, and there are 25 mangoes on each tree. All right, so let's think about that. So how many coins will you get then? I don't know. Let's find out. To find out the number of coins, you must first find out the number of mangoes. There are 12 trees. These are 12 trees. And each tree has 25 mangoes. So the total number of mangoes would be the product of 12 and 25. What are we doing when we say product? Yes, sir.
Something that adds up to the number.
No.
Wait,
Do you remember what product that word is?
Is it the second? Multiply.
Multiply. So product means multiply. So the number of trees is 12. The number of mangoes on each tree is 25. So the total number of mangoes would be 12 times 25. So do you know how to multiply? Yes, I do, but I can only multiply a number with 1 digit. But here we need to multiply with a 2-digit number. Okay, I'll teach you.
Multiplication by a 2-digit number. As you know, we start in the ones place. Step 1. Multiply by ones. First, multiply 5 by 2. We get 10. Put down the 0 and carry the 1. Now, multiply the 10th digit of the top number with the ones on the bottom number. That is, 5 multiplied by 1 is equal to 5. Add 1 to 5, we get 6. We have finished multiplying the top number with the ones of the bottom number. The product of multiplying the first digit was placed on the first line. The product of multiplying the second digit will go on the second line. Step 2. Multiply by tens. The second number to multiply is 2, which is in the tens place, or 20. Take the 0 from the 20 and place it on the second line. Now, multiply by 2. 2 multiplied by 2 is 4. Put down the 4. Next, multiply 2 by 1. We get 2. it is very important to keep your numbers in a straight line. Step 3. Add. Add the two products. That is 60 plus 240, we get 300. 0 plus 0 is 0. 6 plus 4 is 10. Put down the 0. Carry the 1. Now add 1 plus 2 and we get 3. So 12 multiplied by 25 is equal to 300.
Alright. So is that a little confusing maybe?
Yeah.
So we use 300 mangoes. Alright. Now we're going to start our lesson. So you guys are going to get to use some whiteboards today. Okay. So first we're going to start from the very beginning. So what is multiplication? Can someone raise their hand and tell me? Yes.
Times.
You're using the time sign, right? What are you doing when you're multiplying? Yes.
Like 5 and 3. 5 3 times.
Exactly. So you're making 3 groups of 5 or 5 groups of 3, right? So for example, we did 3 times 5. So we have 3 in each group, and we have 5 groups. Do you see that? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 groups of 3. Okay, is that a little easier to look at
Yeah.
than the numbers itself? Alright, so let's do another problem. So we're going to do 3 times 11. So what do we need to do? What do we need to do? What did we just do with the other problem? We made groups and rows, right?
Yeah.
So how many groups of 11 do we need to make?
Use 3 plus 11.
Right, so I'm going to do that up here. If you guys want to write it on your whiteboard, you can do that. So 1, 2, 3, so that's one group.
That's 4.
And we're making rows, see? That's 2 groups. That's 3 groups. Sometimes they're a little sensitive up here. You can use X's or circles on your whiteboard. If you have your board finished, you can hold it up for me. Let me see, Garrett, how'd you do? You have 11 groups up there? So 3 groups of 11, very good. Can I see yours? These are nice and small. My eyes are bad. Good job, very good. Good, and that was smart. Did you see how she did lines in between to kind of divide them up? That way she doesn't get confused and get them all mixed up. Great job. You did yours a little different. Very good. Great job. Very good. And you made yours out of full candies. All right, so we all know how to do this with easier problems where we're just using one digit, right? Mine's kind of all over the place, but we can see that we have 11 groups of 3. Some of you did 3 groups of 11, which is also fine, so you're doing the same thing. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 groups of 3. And what is our final number? What do we get when you do 3 times 11? Yes.
33.
33, very good. And we can do that by just regular multiplication, or we can use pictures, which is a little easier sometimes. But whatever way you use, if you get the right answer, that's fine. Okay, so what does it mean when we say 12 times 36? What are we doing when we're using bigger numbers? Yes.
So basically just 12.
12 groups of 36. Now that would take us a long time. We did lots and lots of groups of 36, right? Be a little more difficult, right? So we need to find an easier way to multiply double-digit numbers without using pictures. So I'm going to teach you a way. Okay, so this is called a matrix. It's going to be kind of confusing the first time I teach it to you. But once you know, you're going to be like, wow, this is so easy and so fun. Okay, so I want you guys to all make a box on your board of 4 squares. Just make one big square and divide it into 4s. And I'll do it on the board with you. No, don't put the numbers on yet.
You can erase that.
So I'll do it up here with you too. We're making a big box. All right, hold it up when you're done. You might want to make yours a little bigger just so you have more room to write. Make it sure it's big enough so you can write numbers in it. Good job. You want to do a circle, a little challenging? Very good. Okay, so we all have our box ready. So that's the first thing done. So check that off your list. So first we're going to break these 2 numbers. We have the number 42 and we have the number 18 into tens groups and ones groups. Which place is the tens place in the number 42? Who can raise their hand and talk? Travis. 2. Tens place. 4. Why is 4 in the tens place? Do you know?
The second one, 2 is the one in the ones, and 4 is in the tens.
Right, so 2's in the ones place, 4 is in the tens place. What about the number 18? Which number is in the tens place? Yes. 1. And what about the ones place?
8.
8. Very good. So what we're going to do is we're going to break these numbers up. So this is actually the number 18. So we break it into a 10 and an 8. Does that make sense?
No.
No? Okay, let me explain it to you. So we have the number 18. This is 1 10 and 8 ones.
It's like expanded form.
Right, it's like expanded form. So you guys remember? Did you ever use rods maybe or cubes? No? Okay.
We had boxes and
Right.
sticks when we drew it.
When you drew it and you looked at it. So this is 1 10 and this is 8 ones. If you look at a cube, this is 1 rod and these are 8 little squares to make up the rod. And it's not a full 10 yet. Does that make sense? 1 2 3. This is 8 ones and 1 10. So we're just going to break that apart. So we're not getting rid of anything, we're just breaking it apart. So we're going to put a 10 on top and an 8 in the second box. Because what if we add 10 plus 8, what number do we get? Yes.
80.
10 plus 8.
Oh.
You can do it on your board if you need to.
18.
18, right? And that's the number we're talking about, right? So we're not losing anything, right? Okay. So I haven't lost anyone yet?
No.
Thumbs down if you're still confused. It's okay, we can explain it again. Anyone still confused? Okay, we'll work on the second number. So now we have the number 42. How do we break that apart with groups of 10 and groups of 1s? How many groups of 10 do we have? Yes.
2, 4
Right.
lines, and then 2 ones.
Exactly, so there's 4 big lines of 10s and then 2 little boxes, right? Or 2 1 places. So how would we say that? We can do a 40 and a 2. Does that make sense to everyone? So we're not getting rid of any of our numbers. We're still talking about everyone. So this is representing 40 and 2, and this is 18 up here. Okay? So everyone write that on your box. It's gloomy outside. Okay, so now I'm going to teach you something really cool. Okay, is everyone ready for it?
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to multiply 40 and 10 first. Does anyone know what 40 times 10 is? There's an easy way to find it. Yes.
40 times 10 is 400.
400. What's an easy way to figure that out without having to write out the numbers? Yes.
No, I'm just doing 1 times the 4 and then 0 times 0 and
Right, so if you take 1 times 4, you know it's always 4, right? And you're timesing 10 by the 0, so you're getting it turns into 400. So let me show you. So do 4 times 1 is 4, and then we have our 2 zeros, which equals 400. Okay? Now we're going to take these 2 boxes and multiply them. So what's 10 times 2? Yes. 20, very good. So you're taking 10 and you're putting 2 of them. So 2 groups of 10. Now we're taking 40 times 8. That one might be a little trickier. Yes.
320.
How did you get that without looking at the board?
Because so you just put it out 40 times 8 and then 8 times 0 is 0 and then 8 times 4 is 30. Wait, yeah, 30.
8 times 4, what's 8 times 4? You guys
Oh
already
yeah,
learned
32.
32, right? And then you can just bring down the 0, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're taking 8 times 4 is 32. You already know that number. And then you have an extra 0 that you can't leave behind. So that becomes 320. Now this is an easy one. What's 8 times 2? Yes, ma'am.
16.
16. What are we doing when we're doing 8 times 2? 2 groups of what? 2 groups of
8.
8, right? So we have 100, or we have 16, sorry. All right, now what are we going to do with all this information? This is a lot. We're not getting our number yet. Yes.
Add it all up.
Add it all up, right? So we're going to take 400 plus 320. What? Right, so we're taking these 4 numbers. So we are taking these 4 that are inside the box and adding them up. Can everyone add those up on your whiteboard? And they already have the answer up here? Because you get the same answer. So we're taking these 4 numbers and adding them up. Thumbs up in advance. The answer in other people's words. All right, so what's our answer? Yes, sir. Very good. Okay, so was that confusing for everyone a little bit?
No.
you're confused, we're gonna do lots of practice of them, so let's not get confused. Okay. You don't get it the other way yet, so this is a little more easy, this is easier for you? Good. Okay, so let's try this one together. So what do we need to do first? What do you remember? Yes. You're Chase, right? No, what's your name? Aiden. I want to know how you guys say your names. Aiden. If you can move so I can see your name tag, it'd be a little easier.
Okay, let's see. So, you do 12 on top. No, you do the 10 on top and then the 2 next to it.
Right, so we're breaking them up first, right?
Yeah, and then below it, you put the 50 and then you put the 0 below it.
Right, so we have 50, and then we don't have any ones, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now what do we do? Who can give me my next step, other than Aiden, because Aiden's got it right now. What's our next step? Garrett, what's our next step?
Our next step is 10 times 50.
Very good, so that's our first step, right? We're going to focus on this box. So what's 10 times 50? Yes, ma'am.
500.
Not 500, a little bigger than that number, but you're really close.
Oh,
Yes.
5,000.
Very good. You have to make sure we're counting both the tens. Oh,
How did we do that?
What? let's recalibrate a little bit. Okay, so we have 5,000. That one's a little messy, but it's
How did we get 5,000?
How do we get 5,000? All right, let's talk about this. So we have the number 10, and we have the number 50. Now we could multiply them like we usually do, right? Like you learned with Miss Hall. But a little easier shortcut that you can do is you have 50 groups of 10 and 10 groups of 50. So these are really big groups, right? So you're going to take 5 times 1 first. Okay? So we know it's the beginning number starts with 5. Now, if we had 500, would that make sense?
No.
Because we have 50 groups of 10, right? So it needs to be a little bigger than 500, right? So what we need to do is we know that we have 2 zeros that follow, and you add 1 more 0. So you're going to look at your 2 zeros and add 1 more 0. Okay? It's a little confusing when you have all those zeros when you're dealing with them. But just think of your 10 groups of 50 or 50 groups of 10. Okay, let's move on to the next one. What's 10 times 0? Yes, ma'am.
100.
10 times 0. What's anything times 0?
10.
Anything times 0?
0.
0? Yes. Remember, anything times 0 equals 0. Saves you a lot of time on multiplying. What about 50 times 2? Yes, ma'am. You have 2 groups of 50.
100.
Very good. And then last we have 2 times 0.
0.
0. Okay, so what are we adding up this time? We have 5,000, 100,
You can add that stuff up yourself.
0, and 0. So add those up on your board. Add them up first. Like a lot of people know the answer. All right, Emily, what's your answer?
Okay, 5,100.
Very good. So that's our answer up top.
All you have to do is put 5 and then 1.
Make sure you're keeping everything in the right place, remember, when we add. You put it in the thousands place? That's okay. Just have to make sure we keep them all lined up. All right, let's try another one. This one I want you to work with a partner to finish it.
What do we do?
The partner, you're going to do the same thing we've been doing together.
Do we just do it beside it?
So you two will partners, you two are partners, this is a group of 3, then you two are partners up here. You guys work on this one.
So do that. Do you get it or no? You did it earlier. Like how you forgot.
Okay, so
Yeah, break it up. And then you like do the 18 up there. You know how we had ones at 18? I mean, yeah, 1 10. And 18 ones, it's like that. We had 2 10s and then. Yeah. Do you get it now? Okay. Now we gotta do 40 times 30. Okay. 40 times 3. Got it. Damn.
yeah, you're right.
And you add another 0. And then we always add another 0. Okay, wait. We do 2 times 8. Oh. Is that correct? This is great. Hang on. There's a 2. 3. Hang on. There we go. I don't know which one you do now. We do 2 times it.
Alright, let's see. This is right.
We need one more step.
This is right. This is right. And this is right. You got it? You got it. Why don't you explain to him how you did it?
5 4 times 3. What did you do it?
Do you have paper towels?
Nicole, what other step do we do? What other step? So, what other step do we do? There's 2 zeros and it's probably 3. That's correct. Please, if I can do it in your
Good job. Very good. This is easier for you to do it because we're
I like the other one.
Everyone
This is new, so
yeah.
so first we go for
Everyone learns a little
and of
different.
course,
So some
we
people
did
like some things, some people
40
like the
times
other.
20, then 2, 4, and 40 times 8. Yeah.
There you go. Good job, guys. Do you want to write it on the board, you two?
Got it.
just go in the box. I'm gonna have someone else come up and write the addition part. Oh yeah, you both can write at the same time.
One time.
Thank you guys. I know someone else come up and do the addition part.
Yeah, you got it.
Alright, you can come up and write the addition. So as I was walking around, I saw that everyone was getting the right answer, which is so great. It's just a little easier, or do you like the other way better?
Easier.
Yes.
Sometimes some things are easier for people in math and something they like the other method better. But whatever you need to do to get the right answer is what's important. So, is it messing up on you? Here, try different markers. Try the green marker. I think the green marker is working. Write it on the whiteboard. Okay, let me make it all look like everything. Put it everywhere. He's not very happy today, I guess. Alright, try again. It's okay, keep going. Just try it again. Just keep writing it. Well, we'll just write it on the whiteboard.
Okay.
Come over here and write the addition out. Here's 1,200.
We need a new smart.
320. 60. And 17. Great, did everyone get that answer? Great job, everyone.
1,596.
Alright, so this one you're going to do by yourself. Okay, so if you need help, just raise your hand and I'll come around.
Oh, is this the nude?
Yep, same way you've been doing it.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it okay if I turn the lights back on?
No.
Do you like it dark?
Yes.
Just want to make sure that you can see your boards.
Could you just do 6 times 2?
And then what do you have to do after? One more? Because they both are 10, so when you check them, when you get up.
Then you go over to Oh, it's 40. Time. 5 times 2.
Draw your square out first. Right over.
You got the same answer.
Yep, that's right. Alright, focus.
Dad was here. It's the same answer. I'm gonna go weigh it out. Is this right?
You forgot your 0 from your 60. Yep. Just fill in the box.
I need help. I gotta add it up. Is that right?
You just have to
Wait,
write hard.
does the post have
Nope.
2 zeros?
Over here. Okay.
You just have to write hard on it. It's supposed to have a 0. Actually, 2 zeros. Oh, 8 in.
Want help?
Yeah.
We're gonna be chit-chatting with each other. This is individual.
Here, can you hold up my board for me? Thank you.
Sorry.
Oh, I need almost done. One.
Okay, you would put it in that box? Okay.
Now what do you
Wait,
do?
there's only one.
Bring these two together. So 5 in. What's 5 times 2?
I'll change it. It's right.
Get 100.
Oh, something's wrong.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay.
Wait, never mind.
Yes, you want to add up the addition part? Make sure you write up the right marker. Use the other one. Just have to write full small line. So it doesn't squish.
Wait, this one, I don't know. Which one comes off?
This is blue?
No, you're black.
It looks different. It looks like the whoa.
Copy the numbers from that.
I can't recall because I didn't know that was 100.
Okay, we'll just keep adding up the way.
Oh,
Add up with the 100 instead.
is that right? No.
We're doing 4 plus 2 is what? Plus 1.
8.
Oh, you're right. Just got 8, so I thought no. Yep, 2 is right. 8, and then you just have to bring down your 1.
That was confusing.
Good job. Anyone get a different answer?
Nobody. 18.
You just are forgetting some of your zeros. Otherwise you would have the right answer. got your 0 over here.
See, I did.
But you forgot when you added. So otherwise you would have gotten the right answer. So good job. All right. So let's move on. So now we're going to go over the method that you learned with Miss Hall. So you guys should be pros at this already, right?
No.
No? All right, well, I'm going to kind of go over it again, and then we're going to do a couple examples. So we're looking at 57 times 24. We have a little checklist on the side. So as we do each step, we're going to check it off. So first we're going to multiply the ones by the ones. So 4 times 7, those are both in the ones place. And what do we get? What do we get when we do 4 times 7?
4, 7, 4
4 times 7. Yes, ma'am. 28, right? So we put the 8 down, carry the 2 on top. Now what do? We did this step. Our next step is multiply the ones by the tens, right? So we're going to do 4 times 5. What do we get?
220.
5 times 4.
5 times 4 is
20. And then we're going to add
22.
2, so we get 22. So right now we have 228. What do we have to do next? We just did this. Someone else. I know you know. Yes, ma'am. What do we have to do next so we can get that number? Look at our next number.
Let me do 5 times 4.
We already did that step. Right now we're going to insert a placeholder. So we're putting that 0 right here. Remember that stuff that you learned with Miss Hall? No? We always have to insert a 0 because we've already covered that part of our multiplication when we found 228. So we have to insert a 0, and then we start with our second number.
What? I don't get that.
You don't get that? All right, well, when we do the next problem, I'll go over it with you, okay? So next we have to multiply the tens by the ones. We're going to take 2 times 7, which is what?
Yeah. 11.
2 times 7.
Oh, 2 times 7. 14.
14, right? So we put the 4, we carry the 1, so this 2 is not here anymore. Carry the 1.
5,
Now what do we do?
6.
2 times 5, which is? 10. So we take the 10, add it to 1, get 11, and then we add them all up together. We get 1360. Okay, so we're going to do them together, so don't worry. Okay, so we're going to start from scratch. I'm going to turn the lights. I don't know why I'm doing this. Okay, so our first step is we're multiplying ones by ones. So the ones place by ones place. What's 5 times 2? Yes, ma'am.
5 times 2 is
10. So you put down the 0,
10. Wait.
carry the 1. So we did this step. Now we're multiplying ones by tens. We're taking the 5 by the tens place. What's 5 times 9? Someone else. These 2 are my go-getters. Yes.
45.
45. So we take 45
46.
plus 1, 46. So we have 460. So we just did this. Now we're going to insert a placeholder. So we're going to put our 0 right under the other 0. Okay? Now we're going to multiply tens by 1. So our tens digits. So what's 4 times 2? Yeah.
4 times 2.
Uh-huh.
8.
8. Very good. Now we're going to multiply tens by tens. Yes.
So it'll be 9 times 5 again?
9 times 4.
No. 9 times 36.
36. And then what do we do? Add them up. Anyone get anything different? Very good. That's the correct answer. All right, let's do another one together. All right, so now we have 43 times 72. Let's go through the steps again. Multiply ones by ones. 2 times 3.
Oh, 6, yeah.
6. That step's done. Ones by 10. So we have 2 times 4. Yes, ma'am. 8. This is step. Insert placeholder. Our 0. Tens by ones. But our tens place by our ones. 7 times 3.
Oh, 7 times 3. 18.
18. Yeah. 21. Carry the 2. Multiply tens by 10. So 7 times 4.